The first thing I did after being reborn was search in a stinky sewer for a big, thick, strong leech. Then I swallowed it in one bite without hesitation, even though it was wriggling wildly in my throat. I fought back the nausea and forced it down, because the gamma-ray apocalypse is coming soon. Everyone gets to awaken the abilities of the last animal they have ever eaten. Some guy ate a crocodile leather belt and turned into a 100-meter giant crocodile that devours everything. Another person ate fried chicken wings and awakened the phoenix bloodline, flying high in the sky. In my past life, I ate a piece of dried rat meat and ended up turning into a rat that everyone wanted to kill and got stomped flat by an unknown ferocious beast in the end. Now that I'm reborn, I obtained the infinite devour system. The stronger the target I devour, the more energy feedback I can get. This mutated leech from my past life will soon turn into a glutton that devours everything. Right now, I'm staring at the glass box in front of me, with a bright red leech inside it. Its chubby body keeps wriggling, just like a red maggot. Devouring makes me stronger. What am I hesitating for? Just do it. I made up my mind, rolled up my sleeve, and stuck my hand into the glass box, trying to grab the mutated leech out, but the mutated leech kept twisting around. It not only broke free from my hand, but also bit my finger. The blood water in the box got even thicker. Sensing the fresh blood coming in, the mutated leech became extremely excited. Seeing this, I got furious immediately. I quickly grabbed the leech out, then took a big bite, and swallowed it straight into my stomach. Congratulations, host. You have successfully devoured the mutated leech. Gene sequence extraction successful. New sequence obtained.
Let's see what it can do.
Right after that, I felt a tingling sensation in my finger. I looked down and saw that the big chunk bitten off from my flesh was covered in countless blood-red threads. It only took 2 seconds to wrap up the wound, and brand new flesh grew back right away. That's actually limb regeneration. On top of that, I also felt a huge surge of power inside my body, like I have endless energy to use. I walked over to the mirror, stood still, and stared at my reflection. I was stunned again. My original height was around 1.7 meters. Now it's shot up directly to 1.9 meters. My black hair has turned into long red hair. My taupe eyes have also turned bright red. If you look closely, they look a little demonic. After checking my body carefully, I found that on the palm of my right hand, there is an extra mouth. That looks like an abyss, covered with dozens of tiny sharp fangs, exactly the same as the mutated leech's mouth parts. It can absorb enemies' blood, but that made me a little troubled. The dark chaos hasn't started yet, and I look like this now. There's no way I can go out like this. The second this thought crossed my mind, my long red hair returned to normal, and the mouth part on my palm disappeared too. I was shocked seeing this. That's so awesome. There's less than 2 days left until the dark chaos starts. I have 2 more devouring chances left. I must keep devouring. I remember there is a hidden rich man in Daru City who collects a rare electric eel. I remember after the dark chaos broke out, this rare electric eel will also become a mutated beast that can release terrifying lightning. If I devour it, under the gene sequence recombination, I might unlock even stronger abilities. But with my current identity, it's obviously impossible for me to meet this hidden rich man. Luckily, he has a daughter who happens to study at Qingbei University. I got ready and headed straight to the school. Soon I arrived at an abandoned park not far from the school. Yan Xiaotian, this rich lady, lives a very low-key life. To hide her identity as a rich second generation, she walks here every day after school before taking a car to leave. When I got to the park, I just spotted a stunning figure standing not far away. The girl had a unique temperament that gives people a sense of staying away. Right at that moment, a Rolls-Royce drove over from afar. Then 3 bodyguards got out of the car and opened the car door respectfully. Seeing Yan Xiaotian was about to get in the car and leave, I walked straight out from the corner, smiled, and spoke calmly to the bodyguards. I'm here for the pretty girl. Wait, no, it's a kidnapping. Yan Xiaotian saw this. Her face remained calm. You don't seem to take me seriously. After all 3 of these bodyguards are professional ex-military veterans. They have to go through layers of screening to become Yan Xiaotian's personal bodyguards. The lead bodyguard charged right over without a word. I just threw a casual punch. The bodyguard's face twisted up in pain, didn't even let out a scream, and got sent flying over 5 meters away, slamming into a crooked-necked tree, and passed out cold. Yan Xiaotian's eyes widened in shock. The other 2 bodyguards who were just about to attack were completely dumbfounded too. What the hell? Sent someone flying 5 meters with one punch. Is that even fucking human? I was a little surprised too. Didn't expect my strength to be this great. Then I walked up to the Rolls-Royce on my own and gave it a tentative kick. There was a dull thud. The Rolls-Royce, with its handbrake locked, got sent flying over 3 meters right away. The entire side door was badly deformed, dented and really deep. The whole scene went dead silent immediately. Yan Xiaotian was so scared her face went blank, while the 2 bodyguards were so scared they collapsed on the ground. I ignored those 2 bodyguards and walked straight up to Yan Xiaotian. Yan Xiaotian said nervously, "Do you want my money or my body? Call your dad, Yan Nanji. Tell him to bring that rare electric eel he collects here. We hand over the eel first. Then I let the person go." Yan Xiaotian frowned tightly. Couldn't wrap her head around what was going on. This guy went through all the trouble to kidnap me, just to get my dad's rare electric eel from his collection. But the situation was critical right now. Yan Xiaotian could only take out her phone and called Yan Nanji, briefly explained her current situation and what I'd asked for. At the same time, in the meeting room of Tiansheng Group, after a stern-looking middle-aged man answered the call, he instantly tensed up like facing a major enemy. "This is outrageous. How dare anyone in Daru City lay a finger on Yan Nanji's daughter? Notify the military right now. Tell them to send their best men over for backup. Do it right now. Also call the top medical team of Daru City. Tell them to bring the best equipment and stand by at the designated location, ready to handle any emergencies at any time. I'll be there right away." After arranging all this, Yan Nanji told his driver to drive home first, to pick up that rare electric eel. "I've done what you asked. My dad will be here in half an hour." I nodded, spoke after a moment of thought. "An aurora will sweep across the blue planet in 2 days. All creatures on the blue planet will mutate and turn into mutant beasts. The world order will collapse by then, and society will fall into unprecedented chaos. That electric eel will also turn into a terrifying mutant beast. If you don't get rid of it, your whole family will die horribly." Ah! Believe it or not, I'm not taking this eel for free. In exchange, I can tell you this life-saving information in advance. This is a fair deal for us. That sounds totally crazy. Yan Xiaotian didn't say anything, just stared at me like I was an idiot. Yan Xiaotian shook her head. I didn't waste any time talking, then cut a gash on my left hand with my right hand. Then blood-red threads appeared on my fingers and healed the fingers back to normal. The 2 bodyguards watching from afar felt their scalps tingle. Yan Xiaotian was also shocked on the spot. "Your family's businesses are all over Daru City. After the dark chaos arrives, all kinds of supplies will be extremely scarce. If you trust me, you can choose to follow me. I can lead you to survive. Even spirit beast warriors need to eat, drink, and shit. And I'm no exception. In times like this, fighting alone is never the best option. In this chaotic world, making allies is a must. The Yan family is obviously a good choice. Cooperation leads to a win-win situation." I get it. I'll tell my dad all of this and discuss it properly with him. I'll give you an answer as soon as possible. Right at this moment, sirens could be heard from far away. A bunch of armored vehicles stopped in front of the group. A middle-aged man got out of the car and walked over. When he saw the deformed Rolls-Royce, Yan Nanji's heart instantly sank to his stomach. But when he saw Yan Xiaotian was unharmed, he let out a long sigh of relief. I glanced at the fully armed military personnel. I smiled and spoke to Yan Nanji casually, not caring at all. "Boss Yan, you brought what I asked for, right?" Yan Nanji was stunned immediately after hearing that. He never expected the person who kidnapped his daughter would be so young. "Here's what you asked for." With that, Yan Shengtian threw the suitcase over. I caught the suitcase and opened it. Inside was an all-blue electric eel. It gave off a disgusting, fishy smell of the sea. Without any hesitation, I just picked up the electric eel and started biting and eating it. Yan Nanji was totally dumbfounded seeing this. What the hell is going on here? The military guys were also stunned. Did we run into a psycho? After finishing eating the electric eel, my skin actually started emitting electric currents. Yan Nanji gasped sharply at the sight. You should know the current this eel can discharge is strong enough to kill a medium-sized, fierce dog. Congratulations, host. You've successfully devoured the rare electric eel. Gene sequence extraction successful. Then I had a thought. My original short black hair instantly turned into long red hair. My pupils also turned bright red again. I stretched out my index finger and directly formed a blood ball. The blood ball exploded in midair. The moment the military personnel present touched the blood ball, they immediately felt a strong electric current pass through their bodies. They collapsed straight to the ground and passed out. Only Yan Xiaotian and Yan Nanji were completely unharmed. I glanced back at the father and daughter, then quietly disappeared into the night. We are only less than a day away from the dark turmoil. I have one last devouring chance left. I have to finish this devour before the turmoil starts. Right at this moment, I suddenly remembered, in the zoo of Daru City, there seems to be a special eagle. Its feathers are as hard as iron all over, and it can make extremely sharp calls. I have the blood armor now, and can also control the power of thunder and lightning. I just lack a way to fly. Early the next morning, I immediately headed to Daru City No. 1 Zoo, and arrived at the cage holding that special falcon. I was shocked the moment I got there. I saw that this falcon had already mutated. Its black feathers looked like sharp blades, glinting with terrifying cold light. Its pupils were actually vertical, just like a poisonous snake. Right now, the falcon was using its sharp beak to peck wildly at the iron cage. It broke out of the cage in just a moment and flew straight at me. My pupils shrank sharply when I saw this. The falcon's movement seemed infinitely slower in my eyes. The falcon's movement seemed infinitely slower in my eyes. In a split second, I grabbed the falcon's neck with one hand and started biting it wildly with big bites. Congratulations, host. You've successfully devoured the mutated falcon. Gene sequence extraction successful. Then I had a thought. Suddenly, a pair of 6-meter diameter huge black wings appeared on my back. I immediately rose into the air and rushed up to the sky. Suddenly, my phone rang. Yan Xiaotian's slightly panicked voice came from the other end of the line. Bei. Something bad happened here. Several humanoid monsters broke in. Can you come over? Yan Xiaotian's voice was shaking a little. She was obviously panicking and didn't know what to do. I agreed immediately without even thinking. Following the address Yan Xiaotian gave me, I soon arrived near a food warehouse. At the same time, the warehouse stored a large amount of supplies. Most of them were processed foods that can be stored for a long time. Two guys with hideous faces were looking at this scene ecstatically. Big Brother is still the smart one. We took over this warehouse, ha ha ha. We don't have to worry about food anymore in the future. A guy with a pig nose and whole body full of fat laughed loudly. Next to him, a 3-meter tall guy also laughed wildly along with him. You guys actually got the superpower of beast transformation. We are truly the lucky ones blessed by heaven. Now we can do whatever we want. With that said, the bullhorn man walked up to Yan Xiaotian with sparkling eyes. He rubbed his hands and smiled evilly. Big Brother, she's a total catch. Heh, she's absolutely perfect. The pig-nosed man also snickered along, listening to their dirty words. Yan Xiaotian's face gradually turned pale. Yan Nanji pulled Yan Xiaotian behind him tightly. His brows were furrowed tightly. He was just about to say something. Suddenly, a big hole was smashed into the warehouse roof. I was like a falling meteor, and rushed straight into the warehouse. For some reason, Yan Xiaotian suddenly let out a long sigh of relief. Seeing this, the bullhorn man and pig-nose man frowned slightly. They didn't expect that besides us. There's actually someone else blessed by the heavens. Kid, I'm warning you to mind your own business. Or else. I'm not wasting my breath on these two losers. I threw a hard slap straight at them. 2 crisp cracks rang out. The scene went dead silent right away. The huddled workers stared blankly at the 2 monsters in front of them. Who knew I'd take them down with just one slap? Then I walked up to Yan Xiaotian and his daughter. Yan Nanzi shielded Yan Xiaotian behind his back. How's your thinking about what I said last time? He asked after hesitating for quite a while. Could it be that you, friend Xiao? If we choose not to cooperate with you, will you eat us? I have no interest in eating people. The dark chaos is coming really soon. What are your plans right now? After hearing that, I don't like eating people. Everyone finally breathed a sigh of relief. If it weren't for you, friend Mobe, we would have been dead already. What should we do next? We'll all listen to you. Yananji stared at me intensely. In his eyes, I was just like a savior, clinging to this solid backer. Will definitely not be a bad call. The dark chaos is about to descend soon. All existing order will collapse by then. Finding a safe place to build a base is the top priority right now. My villa has a very high security level, and it's made of top-tier construction materials. Friend Mobe, if you don't mind, you can go there with us. I nodded in agreement. That's exactly what I had in mind. Just strong power isn't enough now. After the dark chaos descends, all kinds of supplies will become scarce. The environment will also change in the later stage. 10,000-year cold waves and 10-year droughts will strike one after another. At times like this, a safe shelter becomes extremely important. After we settled on this, I looked at the workers huddled in the corner again. If you want to leave, I won't stop you. Those who want to stay can follow me too. But the dark chaos is far more cruel and dangerous than you can imagine. Since you choose to follow me, you must obey my orders unconditionally. Everyone responded in unison. Understood. I nodded in satisfaction when I saw this. Then I told everyone to start moving supplies. An hour later, in the villa at Mid-Mountain Cloudside, the father and daughter sat on the sofa, out of breath. Friend Mobe, should we keep hoarding more supplies? After all, we have so many people here. Of course we need to collect supplies. There's something more important to do. The first forbidden area is about to descend. Resources in the forbidden area are 100 times more precious than supplies. Yan Xiaotian and Yan Nanji exchanged a look. Even though they had no clue what a forbidden area was, they didn't ask any more questions. Mobe, you said before, if we hadn't taken that electric eel, after the dark chaos broke out, we would all die a terrible death. Is that true? After Yan Nanzi heard this, he was shocked immediately. If only we could be like you, friend Mobe, and have such powerful strength. After the dark chaos begins, an aurora will sweep across the blue planet. Some people have a chance to awaken into the last animal they ate before the aurora comes, but the probability is random. After I explained the principle, Yan Nanji and his daughter didn't hesitate at all and immediately stewed a big pile of ingredients. Then I told them to each get a bowl and eat it. Dozens of foods were stewed together. The taste was indescribably bad, of course. But to become spirit beast warriors, the father and daughter didn't hesitate either. Yan Xiaodian asked curiously, "Is it done already?" "Yes, it's done now. You'll see the result after the aurora sweeps across the blue planet tomorrow. The first forbidden area will descend tomorrow. You'll come with me then." Time quickly flew to the next day. Deep in the dark universe, a weird pale blue aurora suddenly appeared and swept across the entire blue planet instantly at an overwhelming speed. The blue planet apocalypse caused by the dark chaos. Under the illumination of the aurora, some animals on the blue planet mutated and turned into ferocious-looking monsters. Some stray dogs had their flesh exposed, and their size swelled to over 3 meters tall, their eyes glinting with bloodthirsty cold light. They let out a beastly roar and charged straight into the dog catcher team, killing wantonly. Back at the villa at this time, Yan Xiaotian and her father, who'd been on edge all night, also sensed something was off. Their bodies started mutating strangely. Yan Xiaotian was wrapped in a streak of golden light. A sunflower pattern appeared between her eyebrows, and she could release golden energy. Yan Nanji's height shot up to 3 meters. His previously well-proportioned body was packed with muscles. A pair of long horns grew out of his forehead. Young friend Mobe, we actually pulled it off.
Whoa!
This feeling, this endless power, my body feels so light. It feels like the whole world is under my control. The dark turmoil has already arrived. The first Forbidden Zone should appear any time now. Grab the crew and come with me to the Forbidden Zone. We need to get some resources to power ourselves up. Soon we set off in a large truck. We arrived at the Forbidden Zone entrance 2.5 hours later. Yan Nanzi wanted to send people to scout the path first, but I floored the gas pedal right away. The truck charged straight into the vortex. Not far away, Li Huan, Yan Xiaotian's obsessed simp, brought a group of people to watch the scene unfold. Their expressions looked pretty odd. He thought to himself, that loser Mobe. How is he hanging out with the campus belle of Yan University? And he even drove straight into this mysterious vortex. Someone next to him suddenly asked, "What should we do now?" Lehigh thought for a moment. The boss told us to find out what's going on here. Even a loser dares to drive in. We all have superpowers already. What the hell are we scared of? Inside the Forbidden Zone, it was pitch black. Thick, dense fog was everywhere around. Above our heads, a blood-red, sun-emitted eerie red light. Right at that moment, spine-chilling howls came from the thick fog ahead. Everyone in the carriage immediately went on high alert. There are dark creatures in the Forbidden Zone. You can think of them as alien creatures. I calmly stepped on the brake, looked at Yan Nanji and said, "Boss Yan, you take the wheel instead. I'll clear a path for all of you." Before Yan Nanji could react, I was already standing on the ground. The next second, a group of weird figures completely covered in black mist charged out of the fog. These figures were a full 2 meters tall. Even though they had a human shape, they were definitely not normal humans. That won't work. Young friend Mobe, you're really strong, but there are way too many of them. I have to get out and help you. Xiao Tian, you're in charge of driving. After saying that, Yan Nanji frowned and reached for the car door to get out. But right at that moment, a dull thud suddenly. I raised my hand and swung a slap out. The 6 dark creatures ahead were instantly smashed to pieces. Not even a single speck of blood was left. Yan Nanji froze mid-motion as he was opening the door. Holy shit, he was completely stunned. What happened to the supposed dark creatures? They sound so tough just from their name, and they got taken out with a single slap. Ripples appeared in Yan Xiaotian's eyes as she stared at my back. Taking out dark creatures with one slap made her heart skip a beat involuntarily. After dealing with the dark creatures in front of me, I started walking forward. The dark creatures in the first dungeon are generally not very strong, not to mention I awakened my powers 3 days early. To deal with these dark creatures, I don't even need to use my beast form. Any dark creatures I encountered on the way, no matter how many there were, got smashed to pieces with a single slap from me. Inside the cab, Yan Nanzi and his daughter watched me keep one-shotting dark creatures. They went from being extremely shocked at first to being completely numb to it now. Yan Nanji had a mischievous grin on his face as he looked at Yan Xiaotian. "What do you think of that kid, Mobe?" Yan Xiaotian's face flushed red when she heard that. "What are you talking nonsense about?" "I'm not talking nonsense. You're not a little kid anymore. You're old enough to find a boyfriend. Dad, you always said you were against me dating early, right? I do oppose you dating too early. But let's be honest here. Mobe is a kid I can really trust. Not only is he super strong, he's also very sensible. He's not arrogant or impatient, and he's really good with words. He's such a rare and great guy. If this kid becomes my son-in-law, I'd be completely okay with that." Yan Xiaotian felt super helpless right away. At the same time, in the fog not far behind the truck, Li Huan and the others were staring closely at the scene before them. When they saw me instantly kill the dark creature, everyone couldn't help trembling inwardly. Li Huan was so angry that his teeth chattered. That son of a bitch. He actually got superpowers, too. And he's even stronger than me. That bastard is so dead. Just then, one of his underlings spoke up. "What do we do now?" Li Han exhaled heavily. "Besides, no matter how strong this kid is, he's still human at his core. All humans have their limits. He's been expending energy this entire time. Sooner or later, he'll run out of strength. Let's follow him for now. Wait till we find something valuable, then snatch it. By then, he'll have no strength left. We still have 5 people here. There's no way we can't take him down, right?" At the same time, I kept clearing the path ahead. After I wiped out another group of dark creatures, I glanced back with a cold sneer. My senses are already far beyond ordinary people now. I've known Li Huan and his group were here for ages, and I know exactly what they're planning. Half an hour passed in the blink of an eye. I don't even know how many dark creatures I've killed. Too bad these dark creatures aren't mutated beasts. They don't drop mutated beast crystal cores. Otherwise, I'd have enough to level up several times. Soon, the truck followed me to a stone platform. The platform was carved with complex ancient patterns, and it was faintly glowing with red light, as if it had a life of its own. Noticing, I suddenly stopped. Yan Xiaotian and his daughter got off the truck and looked up towards the high platform. They saw lots of glossy black metal, emitting a faint dim glow. Jingang is an excellent construction material. Its quality and density far exceed all materials on Blue Star. Take all of this back to reinforce the villa. Yan Nanzi didn't dilly-dally after hearing that. He opened the back door of the truck and told the workers to get off and carry the materials. At the same time, in the darkness, Brother Lee, that pile of black stuff doesn't look ordinary. Ah! Should we make our move now? Lee Hen was thinking the exact same thing. He nodded and was just about to speak when a loud laugh came from not far away. 3 men and 2 women came from the fog, walking out swaggeringly. You probably don't have any strength left now, right? There's no way you can beat the 5 of us. Haha. Right after he said that, one blonde guy's body suddenly swelled up, turning into a 3-meter-tall mountain of flesh. His face also turned into a pig's head shape. He slowly walked towards us. Each step he took made a dull thudding sound. That pig head looked extra ferocious under the blood sun. The sense of oppression was totally off the charts. When I saw this scene, I let out a cold sneer. A pair of black wings instantly appeared behind my back. An electrified feather shot through the air, followed by crackling electric sounds. After a burst of zapping noises, the flesh mountain collapsed to the ground with a thud. The blonde guy's buddies were all stunned. One woman with an edgy alternative hairstyle gasped in shock without thinking. How dare you kill someone? The dark turmoil has already officially descended. I let out a soft sigh. It's just one person I killed. The dark turmoil has already officially descended. Right after I said that, the black wings behind my back flapped gently, and several more feathers shot through the air. The remaining few people didn't even have time to beastify and dodge, before a powerful electric current burst out instantly. Brother Lee, should we still make a move? Everyone's eyes fell on Li Huan. Everyone secretly looked towards Li Huan. Li Huan's eyes were wide with rage. He was totally frozen with shock. Make a move, my ass. Can't you see how strong he is? Run! Hurry up and run! After Li Huan said that, he turned around and ran without hesitation. He originally planned to wait till Mo Bei was exhausted and rob him when he was vulnerable. Who knew this guy was so tough? Even after killing so many dark creatures, he can still kill enemies instantly. We have to run right now. But just as Li Huan took his first step, a feather fell from the sky and stabbed straight into the ground 3 meters ahead of him. Did I say you could leave? Hearing that icy cold voice, Li Huan and his group all trembled violently. They felt like the Grim Reaper was targeting them, and a chill ran down their spines instantly. Li Huan shrank his neck and nodded slightly. Up in the sky, Mo Bei, with his black wings flapping behind his back. It's like a demon lord descending slowly. As his huge black wings flap, even a lot of the surrounding fog gets blown away. Li Ken narrows his eyes. A flash of panic crosses the depths of his eyes. Crap, I need to run. Right at this moment, Yan Xiaotian and the others finally snapped back to their senses. Someone had set their sights on them, and it wasn't just 1 or 2 people. How did Mo Bei sense that? They're all spirit beast warriors too. But they didn't notice a thing. How the hell did he pull that off? Is there really a gap between different spirit beast warriors? What they don't know is, there is a real gap between spirit beast warriors, but Mo Bei is nothing like them. He has 2 more genes in his body than the father and daughter, so all his senses are naturally way sharper. Ah! Mo Bei, I didn't expect you to get this ability too. Congrats, man. Well, it's getting pretty late. I gotta head home. Let's hang out next time. It's my treat then. Did I say you can leave? Mo Bei found this pretty amusing. Before his rebirth, this forbidden zone had just appeared for the first time. Li Hen was also one of the first people to enter the forbidden zone to explore. With these materials, Cao Menglong built an extremely strong base. Even if many spirit beast warriors teamed up, it was hard. Thanks to the base's super strong defense, this guy actually managed to live it up for a really long time during the Dark Chaos. He never thought that after being reborn, the same exact scenario would play out again. But this time, these building materials probably won't end up with Cao Menglong. I got people backing me. Brother Cao is my boss. I run with him now. Li Huan's face went deathly pale. He hurriedly pulled out his phone as he spoke and dialed a number. But right as the call connected, A feather in Mobei's hand shot through the air and pierced right through Li Huan's forehead in an instant. There was no stabbing pain like he expected. All he felt was numbness. The second the feather pierced his forehead, a powerful electric current spread all over Li Huan's body. His body went stiff. His eyes filled with disbelief, seeing Li Hai get killed instantly. The rest of the people were terrified out of their wits. They all screamed and turned to run, but Mobei wasn't going to give them that chance. Almost at the exact same time, several feathers charged with electricity. Charge. Just like Li Huan, they didn't even have time to beastify before they were. From the phone that fell on the ground, a rough, angry roar kept coming through. It was Cao Menglong's voice. Who the hell dares to touch my people? Who is it? Even though he didn't know what exactly was happening there, he heard everyone's screams. Cao Menglong knew his people had been killed. Cao Menglong! Who are you? How dare you touch my people? Whoever you are, you're a dead man. Mobei still didn't say anything. Cao Menglong was fuming with rage. He felt like he'd punched a pile of cotton. Totally powerless. Where do you live? Give me your address. After a moment of silence, Mobei suddenly spoke up. Now that we've got a grudge against these guys, we have to deal with this properly. I'm in the apartment near 5-Star Garden. Come if you've got the guts. I'll be waiting for you here. You don't have to provoke me on purpose, your Adri. I'll come find you when I have time. Mobei crushed the phone into pieces, then walked over to Yan Xiaotian and the others, and told everyone to keep carrying the resources. Yan Xiaotian and the others hadn't snapped back from the earlier shock yet. They originally thought Mobei brought them to the Forbidden Zone to help with, but Mobei didn't need them at all. I brought you to the Forbidden Zone just to let you experience in advance what the world is like in chaotic times. In this world, being kind to your enemies is being cruel to yourself and the people around you. Looking at the shocked faces of the father and daughter, Mobei suddenly asked, I killed all of them. Not a single one left. Do you think I'm too cruel? Yan Xiaotian shook his head and said seriously, they attacked us first earlier. If we were weaker than them, we wouldn't have ended up much better either. Yan Nanzi nodded in agreement. Soon all the Jinggang were loaded onto the truck. Everyone got back in the car, drove out of the forbidden area. We didn't run into anyone else on the way back, but every now and then in the mist, a group of dark creatures would show up. These dark creatures are just like the small mobs in a game dungeon that keep respawning nonstop. Seeing Mobei one-shot all kinds of dark creatures, Yan Nanji also wanted to give it a try. He got into a rider stance. All the muscles on his body bulged high. His body size instantly swelled to 3 meters tall. His suit on the upper body was ripped apart instantly. Then a pair of ox horns grew out of his forehead. A warm current surged out. He lowered his head and charged at a dark creature. The sharp ox horn slammed into the dark creature's body. Yan Nanzi was shocked to find the creature didn't budge at all. He threw a punch at the dark creature's head. He was fast, but the dark creature was even faster. It smacked him hard across the face, right on Yan Nanji's face. He was completely stunned by that hit. Yan Xiaotian in the driver's seat had his mouth slightly open and was totally dumbfounded. His own dad just got slapped by a dark creature. Mobei wasn't surprised at all. Yan Nanji is a low-key rich guy who's always lived in comfort. He doesn't know any fighting skills at all. Plus, he just awakened as a spirit beast warrior and hasn't fully gotten used to this power yet. Mobei originally wanted to step in and help Yan Nanji take out these 2 dark creatures, but Yan Nanji turned him down. With his tough and durable physique, Yan Nanji fought by trading injuries for injuries and wore down the 2 dark creatures to death. When he got back into the carriage, he was already gasping for air. There were also a lot of wounds on his body. He'd lost half his life. Young friend Mobei, I'm nowhere near as good as you. I thought these dark creatures were easy to deal with. Sorry to make a fool of myself in front of you, Anzi said with a bitter smile. After experiencing how powerful the dark creatures were firsthand, he realized just how awesome Mobei was. He could take on 6 dark creatures alone and kill all of them with 1 shot each. Mobei just smiled at this and said nothing. Soon the group drove out of the forbidden area smoothly and went back to the villa. Yan Nanji instructed the workers to get off and unload the goods and arrange for people to install the Vajras. The dark chaos has already begun. The sooner we put these Vajras to use and turn the villa into a doomsday fortress, the more security we'll have. We've got the resources from the forbidden area. Now it's time for us to stock up on supplies. Yan Nanzi nodded in agreement. Not just food. We need to stock up on all kinds of supplies. Cigarettes, tools, tents, and so on. The more of these supplies we have, the better. Yan Nanji was stunned for a second. Then he figured out what Mobei meant. In the apocalypse, food is definitely important. But other resources are nothing to sneeze at either, like in some prisons. Cigarettes are hard currency. With cigarettes, you can run the whole prison and do whatever you want. The same logic applies now. As expected of Mobei, you even thought further ahead than I did. Mobei, I want to come with you too. Sure, Mobei didn't turn him down. After bringing a group of workers with them, they got in the car again with Yan Xiaotian and left. Watching the big truck drive away gradually, Yan Nanji's eyes were full of smiles. Without Mobei as their backing, their quality of life would definitely drop drastically. They'd probably even struggle to protect themselves. After leaving the villa, Mobei drove towards Daru City, the largest supply warehouse there. This place actually belongs to Tiansheng Group. At the very beginning, Mobei wanted to come here to get some resources, but it was a bit far away. Plus, the forbidden area opened, so he gave up temporarily. Hope it's not too late now. But not long after they hit the road, something unexpected happened. A fierce-looking old lady suddenly rushed out onto the road and lay down in front of the truck and didn't get up. She held her legs, looked like she was in agony, and kept wailing, cursing non-stop at the same time. Ow, you hit me! Everyone come look. You have to give me some supplies as compensation. Mobei in the driver's seat was stunned. Should I go down and handle this? No need. Then he slammed on the gas pedal. The truck roared loudly and charged straight at the old lady. Tough guys need tougher guys to deal with them. We're in the middle of a dark chaos, and you're still out here scamming people. Isn't this straight-up suicide? After this little hiccup, Mobei and his group successfully reached the location of the warehouse. The security booth outside the warehouse gate was completely empty. The originally sealed iron gate was also severely deformed. It looks like it was forcibly broken open by external force. Someone already got here ahead of us. Yan Xiaotian said in a deep voice. Mobei nodded. He led Yan Xiaotian into the warehouse. The shelves once packed full of various supplies are totally empty right now. The huge warehouse was almost completely cleaned out. But up ahead, two people were still, carrying a huge shipping container. This container is the same kind of metal box you see at ports and docks. There's no way normal people can carry something this heavy. You usually need a crane to move it. But these two guys, one in front and one behind, are straight up hoisting the huge metal box on their shoulders. It's obvious they aren't ordinary people either. They were walking outside when they saw Mobei and Yan Xiaotian suddenly appear. They both froze for a second. Are you the extra hands boss Cao sent to help? One of them asked. You mean Cao Menglong? Mobei immediately figured out what was going on. What a coincidence. Didn't expect to run into Cao Menglong's men here. Unless something's wrong. All the supplies here were probably moved away by this guy too. Hearing Mobei call Cao Menglong by his full name, the two immediately realized that Mobei and his companion weren't on their side. They put down the metal box right away. The box hit the ground with a dull thud. The two immediately transformed into beasts and entered combat mode. The guy in front grew a pair of furry ears, and two fangs slowly grew longer in his mouth. The other guy's body swelled up massively, turning into a literal mountain of flesh. People from Dragon Country love eating pork. So after the dark chaos descended, most people awakened as pig-related spirit beast warriors. Take this guy in front of us, for example. His defense is completely maxed out. Mobei didn't care and said directly, "Tell me where Cao Menglong is." Even though Cao Menglong already told Mobei the base location, it never hurts to be extra careful. Boss Cao's location. Fight me first, bastard. Today I'll show you my superpower. The pig-shaped spirit beast warrior let out a roar and charged straight at Mobei, even though Yan Xiaotian had seen Mobei's strength before and watched him fight. He was still a little nervous in this situation. Mobei shook his head. Black wings appeared on his back. Then one feather shot out at high speed, with a whooshing sound. The feather pierced right through the flesh mountain. Strong electric currents kept zapping across his fat body. The next second, the flesh mountain exploded with a loud bang, completely and utterly dead. After doing all that like it was nothing, Mo Bei looked over at the other guy. Where is Cao Menglong? Don't kill me, I'll talk. I'll tell you anything you want to know. A light yellow liquid slowly dripped from his crotch onto the ground. A pungent smell slowly spread through the air. What the hell is this guy even? It's next to 5-Star Garden, in room 288 of Xingyun apartment. Mo Bei stretched out his right hand, plucked a feather, and tossed it out casually. The feather flew like an arrow. It pierced the man right between the brows, his eyes wide open. He died with his eyes unclosed. Let's go to 5-Star Garden. Mo Bei put away his black wings and said to Yan Xiaotian. And Xiaotian nodded dumbly and followed closely behind Mo Bei. The teen in front of him was terrifyingly strong. As long as he stayed by his side, even if he had to go through hell and high water, he would feel completely at ease. Even though he knew Mo Bei was heading to Cao Menglong's turf, Yan Xiaotian didn't feel any fear at all. The two left the warehouse and got back in the car. They set off after setting the navigation. Luckily, it's still the early stage of the chaos. The internet and stuff aren't really affected much, and still work normally. 5-Star Garden isn't far from here. They arrived in less than half an hour. On the way, Mo Bei and the others saw many supermarkets and malls billowing thick black smoke. From time to time, ripples of fighting could be felt, but Mo Bei didn't pay attention to that. Dealing with Cao Menglong is the top priority right now. 5-Star Garden. Mo Bei had just parked the car when a burly man wearing a jacket and holding a cigar led a bunch of underlings out of the nearby apartment building. Are you Cao Menglong? It's you. It was Mo Bei's voice. Cao Menglong recognized Mo Bei's voice immediately. This bastard killed 5 of my guys. I thought he was just bluffing. Never thought he'd actually dare to show up here. And looking at how they're acting, there's only 2 of them. On our side, though, we've got 8 people, including me, and all of us are spirit beast warriors. Everyone get ready to fight. Kill this son of a bitch. Whoever takes this guy out first, I'll reward him with 3 big cases of canned beef. As soon as Cao Menglong said that, the goons behind him got hyped up like they were on steroids and shouted in agreement. Their stares at Mo Bei gradually turned sharp. Boom! All of them entered beast form at the same time. Features of pigs, dogs, cows, and sheep appeared on their bodies. Mo Bei, are we really going to be okay? Even though he'd seen Mo Bei's power before. All these guys in front are spirit beast warriors. Their aura after beast form is even more terrifying. Yan Xiaotian was a little worried. Mo Bei didn't respond. Instead, he stared sharply at Cao Menglong. He didn't activate his beast form. He was thinking about all the possible escape routes. But to Cao Menglong, Mo Bei's thinking looked like he was scared. He immediately laughed out loud and roared, "Attack!" Then he charged forward first. Throwing a punch straight at Mo Bei wasn't scared at all. He threw a punch right back. The 2 fists collided, making a dull thud, sending sparks flying everywhere. Neither of them moved an inch. The moment their fists hit, Cao Menglong's arms were covered in fish-scale armor. My power lets me form this fish-scale armor on my arms. Seeing Mo Bei stay silent, Cao Menglong got even more arrogant. Mess with me, and you'll regret it for the rest of your life. Seeing their boss being so badass, the goons behind started sucking up to him. Boss Cao is so awesome. Kill that bastard. Looks like we don't even need to do anything. Boss Cao can take down this arrogant little brat by himself. Yan Xiaotian pressed her lips tight. She was a little worried. Mo Bei's face stayed expressionless. Blood swirled on his shoulder, and suddenly formed a ferocious eel head. The electric eel's eyes shot out 2 bright beams, then suddenly opened its huge bloody maw and bit down on Cao Menglong's arm. Cao Menglong didn't dodge, because he had the fish-scale armor. No attack could break through his defense. But what he didn't expect was, the second the eel head bit down, its sharp fangs pierced right through his fish-scale armor like it was nothing. They sank right into his flesh. Then a huge sucking force appeared and started crazily absorbing his blood. Cao Menglong finally panicked. He realized Mo Bei wasn't an ordinary guy. He tried to jump back, but Mo Bei grabbed his shoulders with both hands, feeling his blood draining non-stop. Cao Menglong's face turned visibly pale. A chill gradually spread all over his body. After all his blood was drained, Mo Bei felt a lot of strength return to his body. The eel head on his shoulder also gained a tinge of red. Wait, that's it? He's dead. Yan Xiaotian was totally confused. She just watched as Mo Bei drained Cao Menglong dry. The visual impact was insane. As Cao Menglong's mummified body collapsed to the ground, all the cheering goons were dumbfounded. Their boss was totally fine a second ago, and the next he's a dried-up corpse. What the hell is going on? That kid from the mortal world, he's not even human. Run. That was the exact same thought everyone had at that moment. They turned to run away, not even thinking about putting up a fight. Mo Bei stared ahead expressionlessly. Black wings grew out of his back again, but after absorbing Cao Menglong's blood, the black wings had hints of crimson red on them. The next second, several feathers shot out at the same time, ruthlessly taking the lives of these lowlifes. It was a complete one-sided massacre. Mo Bei finished the fight in no time. Yan Xiaotian stared at Mo Bei in a daze. The smell of blood filled her nose, making her feel like throwing up. But Yan Xiaotian knew very well. In this chaotic world, stuff like this is totally normal. Seeing all this, Mo Bei was a little surprised. He didn't expect that Yan Xiaotian, a spoiled rich girl, could hold it together so well. It's done. The supplies should all be inside the apartment. Tell everyone to get off the truck and load the goods. Okay, Yan Xiaotian nodded. Then she opened the back of the truck, greeted the workers to get off the truck and load goods. When everyone got inside the apartment, they indeed found Cao Menglong and his crew's large hoard of supplies. The workers were over the moon, carefully carrying all kinds of supplies, afraid of bumping or damaging anything. Each cardboard box was carried over with great care. They were all kinds of food and daily supplies, but under the current situation, these supplies are way more valuable than gold and diamonds. To make sure everything goes well, Mo Bei took charge of the transportation personally. But right when everyone just hit the road, something unexpected happened. A huge mutated beast suddenly blocked the truck's way. It was a mutated stray dog. Its fur looked like countless silver needles. Its thick limbs gripped the ground tightly. Its body leaned forward slightly, blocking the front of the truck. Seeing the mutated beast was about to pounce, Mo Bei didn't waste any words and directly pulled the door open and got off. The moment Mo Bei got off the truck, 8 huge mutated beasts walked out one after another from the alleys on both sides of the street. All of them were mutated from stray dogs. Most mutated beasts appearing in the city are mutated from all kinds of pets. These mutated beasts planned to gang up on Mo Bei. Mo Bei spread the black wings on his back and rose into the air. Several feathers shot out rapidly and instantly pierced into the bodies of the mutated beasts. Mo Bei controlled the feathers from a distance and released a strong suction force. The mutated beasts' bodies were visibly shrinking and shriveling up fast and got completely drained in just a moment. As for Mo Bei, he felt his body was full of power, as if he had returned to his peak state. All of Mo Bei's energy consumption was fully replenished. After finishing all this, Mo Bei walked to the corpses of the mutated beasts, stretched out his hands to fumble around, and finally found a few transparent crystal cores. These are the crystal cores of mutated beasts. They store the power source of the mutated beasts. Absorbing them can improve your own strength, but absorption takes time. It's like melting steel, you need to take it steady, but Mo Bei is different. A sharp mouthpart appeared in his palm and directly swallowed the crystal cores forcefully. A stream of pure power poured into his body. Mo Bei's level changed. Name Mo Bei. Mutation level, level 3. Bloodline level, none. Gene sequence number 9527. Open the system interface. Mo Bei saw his own level. It actually rose directly to level 3. What does bloodline level mean? Why is his bloodline level currently none? Mo Bei simply stopped thinking about it, got back in the truck and left with Yan Xiaotian. After 6 round trips of transporting supplies, they finally filled the villa's warehouse almost to the brim. Seeing these supplies, Yan Nanji was all smiles, even his wrinkles were full of joy. With these supplies, they can not only survive for a long time, but also live very comfortably, especially when he heard Yan Xiaotian talk about how Mo Bei one-shot killed Cao Menglong and his men. Yan Nanji liked Mo Bei even more. Young friend Mo Bei, with these supplies, we can easily survive for 2 or 3 years. We don't lack supplies much now, Yan Nanji said with a smile, but Mo Bei shook his head. The more supplies, the better. Who would think they have too many? Besides, for these supplies, Mo Bei has his own plans. Putting other things aside, all supplies within a 10-kilometer radius He will try his best to get his hands on. He used his powers to fight along the way, and worked until sunset. Mobei almost looted all. Nearby warehouses and malls empty. As for whether other people live or die, honestly, it has nothing to do with him. In this special environment, he only needs to care about himself. Daru City at night is still full of dangers. Now everyone knows the danger of mutated beasts, so they can only curl up in their rooms. The villa where Mobei stays is totally different. It's brightly lit. Waves of grilled meat fragrance gradually spread. Under Mobei's arrangement, a luxurious apocalypse barbecue feast is being prepared in an orderly manner. The fragrance of the grilled meat gradually filled the air of the entire villa area and caught a lot of people's attention. Soon an uninvited guest appeared in front of the villa. The visitor was a middle-aged man in a suit. "Ah, sir, I haven't had a hot meal for a whole day. Can you give me some food, please? I'm begging you." Seeing who was coming, Yan Nanji immediately broke into a big smile. This man was his business rival. The Huang group he founded is only slightly less successful than Yan's Tiansheng group. After hearing Mobei talk about the dark chaos, Yan Nanji followed the principle of better safe than sorry and began fortifying his villa. He also sent people out to buy food on a large scale. But this rival caught them in the act and mocked him like crazy, saying he had lost his mind. A billionaire CEO not staying at the company to run operations, but hoarding supplies here instead. "Boss Huang, you must remember, you mocked me when I was hoarding supplies back then, right?" "I'm literally starving to death, sir. I beg you, for old time's sake. The CEO of Huang Group has no food. Don't pull my leg here." "Haha. I really don't have any food left. All the food in my villa is gone. I won't eat your food for free. I can trade for it." With that, Huang Jianming took off his watch and handed it to Yan Nanzi. "Boss Huang, you should know. In times like these, luxury watches are totally worthless. I've got top-tier luxury cars in my garage, and supercars too. I can give them to you. All of them." Yan Nanji looked over at Mobei. "Little friend Mobei, you got all these supplies, right? What do you think we should do now?" Mobei raised an eyebrow and smiled. "What do you think, Boss Yan? Then let's not give him any..." Yan Nanzi shrugged and looked back at Huang Jianming. "Are you even human? Are you really gonna leave me to die?" Right at that moment, other bosses inside the villa also came out one after another and arrived at the scene. They stared longingly at the food here. All of them were almost out of supplies, too. "We're all human beings. How can you be so cold-blooded?" Yan Nanji's muscles bulged all over his body, and he instantly turned into a buff minotaur. Hot air puffed out of his nostrils. A deafening roar suddenly exploded in the air. It almost shattered everyone's eardrums. No one dared to stay any longer. They all scattered in a panic. Right then, Yan Nanji suddenly said with a sigh, "I, Yan Nanji, started from scratch. Most people here are basically all wealthy local merchants and prominent families. When I first started my business, they targeted me non-stop. They even almost forced me to sell my company. I never thought I'd get the chance to get back at them. That feels so satisfying." Mobei just smiled at this. He could understand this feeling pretty well. After this little episode, the barbecue feast continued. Everyone was enjoying the delicious barbecue, but Mobei went upstairs to rest early. In his room, Mobei put his hands behind his head and started thinking about his follow-up plans. Now that we have the materials to reinforce the villa, and all kinds of supplies are more than enough, it's time to improve my own strength. In the villa yard, everyone was carefully savoring this hard-earned, delicious food. Yan Nanji leaned over to Yan Xiaotian. "Xiaotian, be honest with Dad. Do you have feelings for Mobei or not?" Yan Xiaotian put down her wine glass, blushed and whispered, "Dad, what are you talking about?" Whether she had a crush on Mobei was way too embarrassing for her to say out loud. "I think Mobei is a great guy. He's strong and good at strategic planning. If you like him, you should seal the deal as soon as possible. Then we can get a better shot at surviving this chaos." Actually, I do have a good impression of Mobei. Before Yan Xiaotian could finish talking, Yan Nanji pushed her towards the inside of the villa. "I'm sending you to Mobei's room. Hurry up and seal the deal, and make your relationship official," Yan Nanji said seriously. A confused look flashed across Yan Xiaotian's beautiful face. Just when Yan Xiaotian didn't know what to do, a Cadillac stopped in front of the villa gate. A blonde-haired teen got out of the car, When he saw Yan Xiaotian, he immediately looked happily surprised. Seeing who the visitor was, Yan Xiaotian immediately frowned slightly. Yan Nanji also looked at the visitor, and his face gradually darkened. He knew this blonde kid. He was one of Yan Xiaotian's suitors. Uncle Yan, you're here too. That's perfect. I'm a spirit beast warrior now. I came here specifically to confess to Xiaotian. I'm definitely good enough to be with your precious daughter now, huh? Ignoring Yan Nanji's increasingly dark expression, Li Qingshan opened the trunk again and took out several shabby canned food from inside. What's more, every single can was expired. Come on, take all this food. Uncle Yan and Xiaotian, both of you grab some. How about this as my betrothal gift for marrying Xiaotian? 30 years east of the river. 30 years west of the river. I'm nothing like the person I used to be now. Yan Xiaotian turned her face away. Her eyes were a little red, but it definitely wasn't because she was touched. It was because she was furious. Being pursued by someone like this, she felt totally humiliated. Yan Nanji stood in front of Yan Xiaotian to protect her. I advise you to calm down a bit. After all, I'm now a superior spirit beast warrior. If you're really that mad at me, then go ahead and hit me. I'll let you hit me 3 times, as long as it makes you feel better. Yan Nanji was already on the verge of losing his temper. Hearing Li Qingshan's nonsense, he couldn't hold it back any longer. The form he had just reverted to turned into a 3-meter-tall, muscular minotaur. His whole body was radiating a fierce aura. If you can take 3 punches from me, I'll marry Xiaotian off to you. Seeing this scene, the smug Li Qingshan was stunned. Turns out you're also a spirit beast warrior. Fine, let's go with what you said. Take 3 punches from me. If you can take 3 punches from me, I'll marry Xiaotian to you. Yan Nanji gritted his teeth and said word for word. We're all civilized people. A gentleman uses his tongue, not his fists. Since you don't welcome me here, I'll just leave, all right? Uncle Yan, I'll treat Xiaotian well. Xiaotian is just an ordinary person after all. She won't suffer if she stays with me. I'll definitely keep her happy and well-fed. Get the hell out of here right now. Yan Nanji flew into a rage immediately, grabbed the nearby barbecue grill, and threw it straight at the Cadillac. There was a loud bang. The Cadillac was instantly dented badly. When Li Qingshan saw this, a thought flashed through his mind. Li Qingshan grabbed his pile of expired cans and ran off in a panic. He even looked back before leaving. Yan Nanji hated that he didn't have wings. Otherwise, he'd fly up and tear that kid apart. Watching Li Qingshan leave, Yan Nanji then reverted to his normal size. He looked at Yan Xiaotian and said earnestly, Xiaotian, you should think twice about the matter with Mo Bei. It's best to make a move early. Yan Xiaotian didn't resist this idea at all. She only felt nervous and nodded gently. Dad? They say spirit beast warriors have way better physique than ordinary humans. That goes for that aspect too. Mo Bei is so strong and powerful. I don't know if I can handle it. But soon Yan Xiaotian shook her head. To clear her mind, she's Yan Xiaotian, known as the Aloof Campus Belle. What the hell am I thinking right now? The villa's reinforcement was fully completed. Now every corner of the villa, including the underground foundation, is wrapped in adamantium. Even if it's hit by a missile, it absolutely can't break through the villa's defense. Even if it's besieged by spirit beast warriors, the villa will remain completely intact. Mo Bei called the Yan father and daughter over and said, now we need to level up our strength quickly. The best way is to let people outside. Go hunt those mutated magical beasts to obtain their crystal cores. Besides, I need to absorb a large number of crystal cores to prepare for the next forbidden area exploration. You can take the supplies we prepared and trade with those people. In the apocalypse, strength is the only thing that matters. After hearing this, the Yan father and daughter spread the news as Mo Bei instructed. It quickly caused a huge sensation. After all, in the apocalypse, having food to eat is more important than anything. Yan Xiaotian has been looking preoccupied these days. She recalled her father's advice to her. Mo Bei is excellent. He's extremely powerful. And on top of that, he's super handsome. A man like him in this dark and chaotic era is definitely a shining gem. As long as Mo Bei wants to. It's only a matter of time before he has a whole harem. No, I have to make a move as soon as possible and make things definite between us. But she's always had the image of an aloof campus belle to the outside world. Even when she keeps a cold face, she never lacks suitors around her. now asking her to confess to Mobei on her own initiative, or even take the first step to lock the relationship down. She really has no idea what to do. Just as Yan Xiaotian was lost in her wild thoughts, several cars pulled up outside the villa. A few figures got out of the cars, carrying several snakeskin bags filled with crystals from mutated beasts. Mobei had already seen what was going on outside through the security cameras outside the villa. He opened the door straight away and walked out. When they saw Mobei, these people acted extremely well behaved. This guy is an absolute ruthless tough guy. Don't get us wrong. We mean no harm. We're here to exchange for supplies. All these are crystals we got from hunting mutated beasts. Seeing Mobei say nothing at all, the men quickly pointed at the crystals in the snakeskin bags and explained. Mobei gave them a quick glance. There were at least a dozen crystals in the snakeskin bags in total. Then he looked away. Mobei asked someone to bring some supplies to exchange with them. Then he took the crystals back into the villa. After returning to the villa, Mobei gave Yan Xiaotian and her father each one crystal for them to absorb. It's not that Mobei is stingy. It's because for ordinary spirit beast warriors, absorbing crystals is extremely energy consuming. This one crystal is enough for the two of them to absorb for a long time. These days, the two of them also heard from Mobei about the function of the crystals. They knew this thing can raise their level, so they started absorbing without any hesitation. On the other hand, Mobei picked up a crystal and placed it on his palm. Then a vortex appeared in his palm. It swallowed the crystal directly. The mutated beast crystal was completely absorbed by Mobei. Seeing that Mobei had already absorbed all the crystals from 2 snakeskin bags, the father and daughter were stunned. They were totally confused. We're all spirit beast warriors. How can the gap between us be so big? He's literally a monster. The next few days were relatively uneventful. From time to time, people came to exchange supplies with crystals. Mobei turned no one away. Anyway, he had hoarded more than enough supplies. Even if everyone in Daru City came to exchange supplies, he could totally handle it. Most of the crystals were absorbed by himself. Mobei's strength also increased to level 9. Feeling the improvement in his physical strength, Mobei mumbled to himself, compared to improving my strength, I care more about devouring new genes. I have no idea when the next opportunity to devour genes will be unlocked. Night fell quietly. Mobei went back to his room to rest early. There were soft footsteps outside the bedroom door. Then the tightly closed door was gently pushed open. A pretty figure in pajamas sneaked in through the crack of the door on tiptoe. Did a thief break into the villa? Or did an enemy come to get revenge? Since it's not a petty thief, and not an enemy either, who would sneak into my room furtively? Mobei got the answer very quickly. It was Yan Xiaotian. As the pretty figure tiptoed to the bedside, Mobei could already smell the faint scent that belonged to Yan Xiaotian. Yan Xiaotian no longer looked like the cold campus beauty she usually was. In the dark, she blushed and stood still by the bed. She kept adjusting her breathing, cheering herself on in her mind, but her heart was still about to jump out of her chest. After getting along for this period of time, I really have feelings for Mobei. Besides, he saved our whole family. If he hadn't taken that electric eel away, my dad and I would both be dead. Saving someone's life deserves a huge reward. Right after that, she made a bold move that went against her original intention. She lifted the quilt next to Mobei and lay down gently on the bed. Mobei, who had been pretending to sleep with his eyes closed, was totally stunned. He thought Yan Xiaotian was up to no good against him and wanted to repay kindness with enmity. He was even ready to turn beast form and fight. But she did this out of nowhere? What are you doing? Yan Xiaotian had just lain down and was still trying to calm her racing heart when she suddenly heard Mobei's voice. She screamed out in shock. Yan Xiaotian's face instantly flushed red with shame. But then she thought again, it's come this far already. How can I give up halfway? When Mobei was completely unprepared, Yan Xiaotian suddenly turned around and hugged Mobei before he could even speak. Her soft lips pressed against his mouth. That night, the moonlight shone quietly on the floor, but it couldn't shine through the rising passion and intimacy. Mobei got up very early the next day. He felt totally refreshed. As for Yan Xiaotian, she didn't get up until almost noon. Her walking posture was also extremely weird. The atmosphere in the living room was a little awkward. Looking at her father's gaze on her, Yan Xiaotian blushed a little. She wished she could find a crack in the ground to hide in, Yan Nanji, however, was over the moon inside. Mobe suddenly spoke up. "Good night, Boss Yan. Young friend Mobe. The stuff you young people get up to is none of my business as an old man, and I don't want to meddle in it either. Just handle it however you see fit. Oh right, Mobe. A lot of people came to trade supplies again this morning." Mobe nodded, opened the briefcase, grabbed the crystal cores inside and started absorbing them. In just a few minutes, all the crystal cores were completely absorbed. "Congratulations, host. Your level has upgraded to level 10. You have earned one devour opportunity. Function unlocked. Host can devour mutated animals, plants, and insects." But Mobe doesn't know the effect of bloodline levels yet. But none of that matters right now. He got another devour chance. And this time he can devour mutated animals, plants, and insects. So he has a much wider range of choices. Next step is to find that resurrection device. This set of gear is insanely overpowered. It's basically equal to having a second life, but it's extremely hard to find. Before his rebirth, this gear was found by Pang Dahai, the heavenly master of Longhu Mountain. Relying on this gear, he later became one of the top powerhouses in Dragon Country. Most importantly, his divination skills can locate all kinds of treasures, which means he has two temporary goals right now. Find a new devour target and complete the devour. Find Pang Dahai and get him to enter the second forbidden zone with him. With that thought, Mobe took Yan Xiaotian and headed out. For the resurrection gear in the forbidden zone, he must get the Longhu Mountain. Heavenly Master Pang Dahai on his side as soon as possible. After the two left the villa, they got into a red Ferrari and headed for Longhu Mountain. They weren't going to collect supplies this time. Driving a big truck obviously wasn't suitable. Yan Xiaotian also asked about the purpose of this trip. He was one of their own anyway, so Mobe didn't hide anything from him. He told him all about Pang Dahai's divination abilities and the resurrection gear in the second forbidden zone in full detail. Yan Xiaotian was totally shocked. Isn't that literally a revive armor? I can't believe gear like that exists in real life. But then he thought about how the dark chaos had already broken out. Even animals, plants, and insects could mutate into monsters. So it wasn't that shocking anymore. The trip went really smoothly. There were barely any other cars on the road. After driving for 2.5 hours without any obstacles, the two arrived at Longhu Mountain safely. Mobe had no mood to enjoy the scenery. He parked the car right in front of the Taoist temple gate, right after the two got out of the car. The temple gate was pushed open. A chubby man in a Taoist robe rubbed his sleepy eyes and walked out yawning. You can trade all kinds of supplies for incense here. Food and similar items are preferred. Then Mobe moved in a flash and threw a punch straight at Pang Dahai's face. "Ah, what are you doing?" Mobe didn't waste any words. Stretched his limbs a bit. At the critical moment, Pang Dahai, who was rubbing his head, suddenly turned pale and knelt straight down in front of Mobe. "Ah, please spare my life. I know I was wrong. I'll give you whatever you want. Just stop hitting me." Yan Xiaotian blinked her big eyes, looking completely confused. Seeing the two of them stunned, Pang Dahai rolled his eyes and immediately ran as fast as he could into the temple. This lunatic is bullying an honest man. All past heavenly masters of Longhu Mountain did practice cultivation techniques to strengthen their bodies, but these techniques are no match for the strong natural physique of spirit beast warriors. What Longhu Mountain heavenly masters are best at is actually talisman arts. But he just woke up. He only had a thin, long robe on. He didn't bring any talismans with him at all. "Wait till I get my talismans. I'll beat you so hard you'll beg for mercy." After getting the talismans, Pang Dahai immediately gained confidence. But the next second, the smile on his face froze completely. He saw Mobe glance at the stack of talismans. A feather shot out from behind him and went straight through this stack of high-level talismans left by past heavenly masters. "Master, if I say I was just kidding earlier, would you believe me?" Mobe didn't say a word, just kept throwing punches. Until he confirmed Pang Dahai was reliable. He had to beat him until he was completely convinced. This beating lasted for a full half hour. Pang Dahai couldn't even shout anymore. His throat was completely hoarse. His whole body was numb from the beating. He gradually couldn't even feel the pain anymore. "Can we stop fighting and talk properly? The second forbidden area is about to open. I need you to work with me using your divination skills. I'll compensate you with supplies. As soon as Mobe finished speaking, Yan Xiaotian got the idea right away. He walked out of the Taoist temple and carried several big boxes from the Ferrari inside. You should have told me earlier you wanted to work with me, man. With this much supplies offered, I'd say yes immediately. Now that Mobe is willing to trade several big boxes of supplies, he has no reason to say no at all. These are the terms I can offer. It's best if you agree to cooperate. If you don't, I'll beat you until you do. Peng Dehai's mouth twitched right then, and his vision went dark for a second. This guy definitely has way too much testosterone. Total super male syndrome case. He starts fighting at the slightest disagreement. Fine, I agree, I'll work with you. My divination skills can indeed locate the positions of some treasures. I'll help you, okay? It went way smoother than expected. Looks like his force first, talk later method actually works. After Peng Dehai packed his stuff quickly, they left Longhu Mountain. 2.5 hours later, the group got back to the villa. The Ferrari had just come to a stop. When Mobe suddenly spoke, the second forbidden area will open very soon. Stay with us during this period. You don't have to do anything right now. Just rest and build up your energy. Wait for the forbidden area to open. Peng Dehai nodded dully. After settling Peng Dehai in, Mobe took Yan Xiaotian to see Yan Nanji and roughly explained what happened on their end. Time flew by and soon it was evening. It was almost dinner time in no time. Peng Dehai ate with Mobe and the others. Mobe sat aside, eating his meal slowly and steadily. But Peng Dehai was eating like a tornado. Mobe saw he had barely touched his chopsticks, and the dishes on the table were almost all gone. Yan Nanji was a little confused. Huh. Dude, is this guy the reincarnation of Zhubaje? Mobe's mouth twitched. He suddenly started wondering if he had found. This unserious fat guy is really one of the top powerhouses of Dragon Country in the future. Let's put that aside for now. The resurrection-grade equipment in the second forbidden area is Mobe's top priority right now. Besides, he still has an unused devouring chance. The only thing he needs to consider now is to finish the current stage of devouring before the second forbidden area opens. Mobe can now devour mutated animals, plants, and insects, which are also called mutated beasts. But which kind of mutated beast should he devour to get the most value? Right at this moment, the TV playing in the living room suddenly cut to an emergency broadcast. An immortal mutated cockroach appeared at Daru City First Research Institute. The Daru City military is now asking all residents for help. A footage showed up on TV. It was the scene inside a lab of the Research Institute. A black cockroach as big as a kitten was running around wildly in the lab. The whole lab was already in total chaos. No matter what the researchers tried, they couldn't do anything to that huge cockroach. In the chaotic footage, someone was shooting with firearms. Flames were bursting out. They even used automatic rifles. But when the bullets hit the cockroach, they bounced off its black shell immediately. Who would have thought cockroaches can turn into mutated beasts too? The Daru City military is actually asking for help online. Looks like they really have no other options. Yan Nanji clicked her tongue. Who would have thought cockroaches can turn into mutated beasts too? The Daru City military is actually asking for help online. Looks like they really have no other options. Good thing only animals, plants, and insects are mutating for now. Microorganisms like bacteria haven't mutated yet. If bacteria and other microbes could turn into mutated beasts too, Blue Star would turn into hell on earth in no time. Mobe narrowed his eyes and suddenly stood up, being able to escape under the siege of firearms and spirit beasts. This thing is definitely no ordinary one. Maybe I can devour it. I'm heading to the lab. All of you stay in the villa. Don't go out randomly. No matter how big the problem is, wait till I get back to handle it. Yananzi was shocked. This kid is actually going to the lab to help. She never thought Mobe, who always wipes out all his enemies, would have such a kind side. As for Peng Dehai, he was as steady as a rock, still focused on shoveling food into his mouth. Go on, don't worry. We'll all stay here. Mobe, you must come back safe. Mabe nodded, drove the Ferrari and left the villa. He headed straight for the first research institute. Places like research institutes are quite common in Dragon Country. Each one is an important restricted military area. Sentries are posted all around the perimeter. If any ordinary person gets even a little close, they will get a warning, or even taken to the police station for questioning. But now that the dark turmoil has broken out, the old rules don't work at all anymore. Director, someone has come to support our research institute. I brought him over here. The staff led Mobei into an office and called out excitedly to the figure ahead. On the leather sofa in the office sat a curvy woman. She had a lab white coat draped over her, only revealing a pair of fair long legs. The woman was pretty excited when she heard the news, but when she saw only Mobei had come, she got disappointed right away. Only one person came. Only this one person showed up. Shen Chulan sighed. Then she stood up and walked to Mobei. A faint, pleasant scent hit his face. Mobei noticed this woman was extremely good-looking. Let me introduce myself. I'm Shen Chulan. Shen Chulan held out her hand to Mobei. Mobei had a weird look on his face. If I remember correctly, Shen Chulan is also a very capable person. I'm Mobei. First of all, thank you so much for coming to help us, but this cockroach is definitely not an ordinary mutated beast. We estimate it's only at the primary level. But all the spirit beast warriors in our lab, working together, still can't take it down. Since you're willing to help us out, please make sure to keep yourself safe. Let's cut the crap, all right. If I dared to come here to help, I definitely won't hold you back. Shen Chulan personally took Mobei to the lab. The lab was a total mess. The walls, made of special materials, were full of holes from being hit. It was a horrible sight to see. Many spirit beast warriors from the institute were still teaming up to fight this mutated cockroach. This mutated cockroach, totally unharmed, under the siege of everyone, suddenly stopped dead in its tracks and charged straight at Mobei. What the hell? Mobei was stunned. His pupils shrank sharply as he cursed. A giant cockroach 1/2 meter long, lunging at you in a super weird pose. Wouldn't you be freaked out? Mobei thought. Forget about the crowd of people on site first. The beautiful director Shen Chulan was still standing right next to him. Yet this cockroach only chose to charge at him. Mobei had no idea why. Shen Chulan next to him also reacted, but she wasn't a spirit beast warrior, so she couldn't help at all. The chaotic scene suddenly fell into eerie silence. Everyone looked at Mobei at the same time, thinking he was done for. After a short moment of shock, he was about to enter his beast form immediately, but right at that moment, a jaw-dropping scene happened. The mutated cockroach didn't attack Mobei. It just pounced right in front of him, then prostrated itself on the ground. It kept making crunching noises with its mouth. It looked like it was submitting to Mobei. What the hell is going on? Mobei scratched his head. Are you submitting to me? Yakaki kaki! The mutated cockroach let out a low growl, as if responding to Mobei. Though he couldn't understand what the growl meant, Mobei could clearly see it was lowering its posture even more. It was submitting. The mutated cockroach really submitted to him. What on earth is happening here? Everyone in the entire lab, including Shen Chulan and all researchers, were completely stunned. This unbelievable scene completely blew their minds. Director Shen, looks like everything's solved. I'll take this mutated cockroach away first. Mutated beasts not only submit to humans, they can also understand human speech. After leaving the lab with the mutated cockroach, Mobei found a random secluded corner. Can you understand what I'm saying? Mobei turned around to look at the mutated cockroach. The mutated cockroach let out a low growl and nodded its flat head slightly, as if giving a response. Since you've submitted to me, I'm going to devour you now. You got a problem with that? Crunch, crunch. The mutated cockroach let out a series of low growls, then turned around and ran away. Its 8 legs moved so fast they left after images. Looks like even though it submitted to him, it still had its own consciousness. It wasn't an unfeeling puppet at all. Mobei let out a soft sigh. Then a pair of black wings spread out from his back. He entered his beast form right away. 2 lightning-infused feathers shot out at high speed. The mutated cockroach that was dashing wildly just now was entirely covered by electric current. Mobei paid it no mind. He flapped his wings and flew in front of it. Then he lowered his head towards the mutated cockroach and bit its head off in one go. Crunch! A few minutes later, the mutated cockroach was completely devoured by Mobei. Congratulations, host. You've successfully devoured the mutated cockroach. Gene sequence extraction successful. You have evolved into a Lingsu warrior successfully. You now possess a powerful danger perception ability. Lingsu warrior. That name sounds a little weird. But compared to the name, he cared more about the danger perception ability the new gene brought. Mobei had a thought, and the next second, two thin, long cockroach antennae popped out of his head. Isn't this the twin-tail warrior? Mobei's mouth twitched. He was totally embarrassed on the spot. Up until now, every time he devours a new gene sequence, his body goes through corresponding changes, like the Maliang mouth part on his palm, the black falcon wings on his back, and the electric eel head on his shoulder. He never expected after devouring the mutated cockroach this time, he would grow a pair of cockroach antennae. His senses were amplified infinitely. No tiny movement around could escape his perception. Suddenly, Mobei sensed a dangerous aura. Without time to think, he quickly dodged to the side. A big tree behind Mobei suddenly started twisting. A 2.5-meter-long giant chameleon revealed itself instantly. Seeing this scene, Mobei was terrified for a second after the fact. It must have been hiding here this whole time. He just didn't notice it earlier. Seeing Mobei dodge its attack, the chameleon let out a furious roar. It pushed off with all four limbs and charged at Mobei again. Mobei could not only see its movements in slow motion, he could also accurately predict its movement path. At the same time, he reached out and pressed his palm on the chameleon's belly. Countless sharp teeth turned into an activated meat grinder. That bit and tore like crazy. The chameleon let out a miserable shriek. Its internal organs were torn out and chewed to bits instantly. It died on the spot. Instant kill. Mobei looked at his blood-soaked palm. He was stunned for a long time before coming back to his senses. Then he was filled with overwhelming joy. Looks like these cockroach antennae are way more useful than expected. With this thing, when I fight against opponents, I'll have an absolute advantage. The entire Daru city suddenly had an anomaly. The originally clear sky was suddenly covered with dark clouds. A black pillar of light shot straight into the sky from somewhere. At this moment, countless people in Daru City saw this spectacular sight. The second forbidden area has opened. Mobei squinted his eyes. His eyes were sparkling with excitement. Before his rebirth, he was just an ordinary person. He could only watch all the benefits without being able to get any. But now he's going to take all these benefits for himself. Mobei hurried back to the villa. Xiaotian Nanzhi Fadi Hai. Come with me right now. A great opportunity has arrived. We have to get there immediately. When Mobei and his crew arrived at the site, a large crowd had already gathered there. There are already so many people here. Are all of them spirit beast warriors? Yep, at a time like this, ordinary people wouldn't dare come here. Everyone present is a spirit beast warrior. There's no doubt about that. After all, right now, ordinary people don't even dare to go out casually. Even for spirit beast warriors, no one dared to make a reckless move, Mobei said calmly. We'll run into a lot of dangers once we go in. You all have to protect yourselves well. Mobei gave them a reminder. Then he glanced at Xiaotian and the others, and stepped into the vortex first. Yan Xiaotian, Fatty Hai, and the others exchanged looks, then bit the bullet and walked in as well. After Mobei and his group entered the vortex, the world in front of them changed completely. A blood moon suddenly and without warning appeared in the sky above their heads. Fatty, it's time for you, the Longhu Mountain Heavenly Master, to show off your skills. Haha, just watch me. Our Longhu Mountain has never been afraid of anyone. Don't worry. Fatty Hai patted his chest confidently. Then he took a compass out of his pocket. He held the compass in his left hand, formed a spell seal with his right hand, and started doing calculations. A moment later, Fatty Hai suddenly looked in one direction. That direction, the biggest opportunity in this forbidden area is right in that direction. If we keep going this way, we'll find it. Mabei nodded. As expected of a Longhu Mountain Heavenly Master, you really do have some real skills. Appeared in front of a huge altar. The altar is as big as a football field. The fog around the altar was actually dispelled by an invisible force. In the center of the altar stands a high platform. Lots of delicate, complex patterns are carved on the platform, giving off a faint, eerie vibe. Right above the high platform, 6 crosses are placed there. Each cross has a suit of armor on it. The armor is jet black overall, with strange power surging over its surface. A light blue gem is inlaid in the center of the armor. Unknown complex patterns are also carved on the gem. This is the place. The biggest opportunity here is these sets of armor on the crosses, resurrection tier equipment. We actually found it without any hesitation. Mobei flapped the black wings on his back and flew straight towards the high platform. But right at this moment, a sudden change occurred. A roar cut through the silent night sky. Out of the thick fog, a huge monster landed in front of the altar, blocking Mobei's path. The monster's whole body was shrouded in fog, but its bulky muscles could still be vaguely seen. The monster was also holding a trident burning with blue flames in its hand. It's a dark creature. This monster in front of us is also a dark creature, but not an ordinary dark creature. It's an elite tier dark creature, and judging from the aura it emits, its level has already reached intermediate. Mobei could sense that it was actually a level 20 being as expected. It won't be that easy to get these resurrection armors. There's actually such a powerful dark creature guarding them. But with a level 20 dark creature blocking the way, how on earth did Fat C in his past life get these resurrection armors?